the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Nanseyemu and the former president John Dramani Mahama edin nsem kakra betu dwa edifa the judiciary making wild allegations say Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo astoko the judiciary with MPP judges kekaya ma bimpo ebesuye Supreme Court so say Addo baye no appointment a wo ye de ko our various courts nyina MPP fon kwa eno do mu go nti wono oba aban mu na obeye Ghana mampanyi a ono nso be see through it say obekele wo mu nyina afiri ho na ode NDC for ababa betra the bench no so nti otu lawyers within the rank and file of the NDC so omo nyina omo ho na omo ntumi pagya omo adwumaye mu said ye be ya oba obetumi apɛ baabi de omo awurawura obi aye no na osande tu dwa say na Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ti wodum wadana ne ho clearing agent edienti na former president kasa former president say na point is a ye de keta se share proye kankan ye de afrafra wo nyina no na Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo pe kwan bi so na oyi wo mo edo mo free di bia wo mo na afi wo pe baby foforo e de wo mo hye omo make several allegations with respect to obi to say yewura eye boache agakon energy minister honorable Alfred Oben ya na oye CEO edema boss obi to say Francis Asenso Boachi, Minister of Works and Housing, Honorable Samuel Bujina Paul, says a host of others and NDC for Ebubo Wondin said, in one way or the other, Emrebi Ketase share project can ever for these appointees of the president. Just say, Enfimuno, Yamuno, Ya, a woman, they were all cleared of these acts and Untino. The mother former president Judicial say na Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo a clearing agent. The president Enya Kwenya Asia Ghana Bar Association as a renowned and a reputable lawyer. Anyone ekodi nkomo. Na nkomo ndi no in fact said you was here to be the man the former president John Dramani Mahama enya asem ketwa on these two comments. One, say we flag the judiciary with MPP people. Two, say we know na Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo a clearing agent. Na yenkotie response His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Land, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Edema, the former President, John Dramani Mahama.
A lawyer for Ghana Bar Association, one more yenshi mu dendende sameka say e wo gwai announce say Cape Coast ya che say e don e kwaso ama kire say ne e no na mampanyi akwakopia se ama wayi ne ho ano e kire mu say onye clearing agent bia yentie ho nsem ai.
My government has undertaken arguably the boldest initiative since our nation attained independence nearly 66 years ago to reform and strengthen the capacity of our institutions to tackle corruption in the public sector. Charity, they say, begins at home. And that is why so far, every single alleged act of corruption leveled against any of my appointees has been investigated by independent bodies such as STRAD, the CID, and in some cases by Parliament itself. It is not my job to clear or convict any person accused of wrongdoing or of engaging in acts of corruption. That is the job of the courts and the law enforcement agencies. My job is to act on allegations of corruption by referring the issue or issues to the proper investigative agencies for the relevant inquiry and action, including, if necessary, the suspension of the affected official pending the conclusion of investigations. That is exactly what has been done since I assumed the mantle of leadership on 7th January 2017. From the allegations against the then Minister Designate for Energy, Boache Jako, in his parliamentary confirmation hearings in 2017, to that against the former CEO of BOSS, the Honorable Alfred Oben, to those against the then two Deputy Chiefs of Staff at the Office of the President, Honorable Francis Asenso Boachi and Honorable Samuel Bujina Paul. To the conflict of interest allegations against the Minister for Finance, Kenu Furiata. To the claims of extortion against the then Trade and Industry Minister Designate, Alan Chemating at his parliamentary confirmation hearings in 2017, to allegations of doubling in visa racketeering against the then Deputy Minister for Youth and Sports, Pius Ajije, and the then Director General of the National Sports Authority, the Honorable Robert Safo-Mensah, who, even though exonerated by the CID, later resigned. The chairperson of the board of the National Sports Authority, the Honorable Bar Asso, to the allegations of bribery leveled against the secretary to the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, Charles Bissu, to those involving the dismissed acting CEO of the Public Procurement Authority, PPA, ABAJ, and the dismissed CEO of the National Youth Authority, Emmanuel Asigri. They have all been investigated and in most cases cleared by the authorized institutions of the state and not by President Akufo-Addo. The latest episode involving the former Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, the Honorable Sisiki Abnadapa, is evident for all to see.
Enu apanyinu wagusua bobo echirebo se mu amose wo san wo muti no enya no kre ene efri se wo betira kwanya so ebesi sabrei omo amose mampanye san wo muti nyina no wo se enyo no ena esan wo muti na no de tu mu bie na enu anso ho enu wo stress parliament ene asenie adwuma no monso mu apa munya mu afa mu die bia ema amanfo enya gidie e wasenie adwuma ni mu.
The Ghanaian people are expectant that Parliament, the legislative arm of government, will continue to grow into its proper role as an effective machinery for accountability and oversight of the executive, and not be its junior partner. Parliament must stand out as an institution that represents all the values that we hold dear and in which our citizens can take pride. Our judiciary must inspire confidence in the citizenry, so we can all see the courts as the ultimate arbiters when disputes arise. A Ghanaian judge must be a reassuring presence and the epitome of fairness. Ensuring high standards and integrity in public life has its own impact on the image of our nation and our ability to attract the substantial amounts of investment, foreign and domestic, needed to help grow our economy.
Na opanyino wa mano anso ho nensam wa wasan ade atoso biamu ne se ene ba bia kwaduru de na kyerese aloyafo nso ene mu amoka ho bia no mu wadwuma ye pa e wasenie adwumadie nem.
The legal profession has a catalytic role to play in guaranteeing the sustenance of these values and thereby in helping us uphold the maintenance of integrity in the ordering of our state. Now, friends, in recent times, the debate on standards and integrity in public life has centered largely on the fight against corruption and whether or not this president and his government are doing enough to combat this cancer.
It's not just Ghana Mampanyi, Mr. President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Amampeni Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo nsem no ebra wokohia Ghana Bar Association we a third annual lawyers conference and ekoso na ebra wokodu ho e no odi to just onkwati ayese and na wasesa temuafo dodo na ono bresu de na temuafo no eno anso obodi register ne kura no and obodi amabra ko besenko Supreme Court na che besenko Supreme Court Nicholas Kujo besenko Supreme Court and obodi ni sa say na busuafo say na nanfofo say ne mampenafo nyina na obodi ni kwasa eno mampeni bi say na wan ne ka ansem na lawyer for ni bi so oh eyenka ne mampeni John Dramani Mahama wono ne ka ansem no say papa we pa so de no kura ni nyame anim ye po bia manaka asem we ani anim senka temam ni bia wonimu mrante mrase emfa mranya hwe na wo betena Ghana benwa so a wonimu mra eka mrate mrase pa enene enka ne mampani John Dramani Mahama woka sansem no eno ene no mampani di anu yi abapa se enye ne ho nete no ena want na senso nye hwe han enka se akwan abede da ho potuos di damu saa wo se wo be Philippa na ensem a enka ne mampani John Dramani Mahama eka ye no ma ye ni kan ko ne yenkotie ebi emra.
When we have come out of elections and we have won, everybody wants to go into the executive. Our lawyers, please, I beg you, some of you must be prepared to go onto the bench. And I know that some have very lucrative legal practices. They don't want to leave those practices and go on the bench. But, I mean, you can see what the current president has done. He's appointed the biggest number of judges onto the bench. It's more than 80 towards 100 and counting. He's packed the courts, and we know that they've packed the courts because they want to avoid accountability after they have left office. And so all manner of people who are known to have been partisan, to have been executives of their party, who are in the legal profession, are being leapfrogged into the superior courts and other places. And so we must be prepared as NDC legal persons to also go onto the bench so that we can balance out, the judiciary. Currently, the judiciary is packed with NPP inclined judges because this government has carried out a deliberate policy of putting their people on the bench.
Eni a uti ye enka ne mampani John Dramani Mahama ne nsema waka edi afase ekwan a omampani na Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo nam so na ne atemuafo no wobodin ana wabesenko obodin abesenko na enede ya na Ghana Bar Conference no ekoso annual conference no ekoso pa eho no mampani akwako PM ewo mfimfini mantem ena wo bisa o no si na mo ya sure pa se enka ne mampani John Dramani Mahama wono no kan sansem ne sunana na sansem mikra ya agba ma watie wonteye ene anje kra ya sen agba wie ya ama wate no mampani so debi sansem ne de amaye kura no wonhwa manyoku a otemuafo ana otemuafo bi efiri mu eba ne etoso mienu wo se wogidi pa se council na nkasa eye judicial council no epa atemuafo ne de ba wanu oti ne ba bi o ni abo onipa asemasi anaso bintin di yenya de banko ade a na wawoso e de ama empanifo se monkwe na monkobɔ kyire hwehwɛ na chi se onipa na yabɔ ne din no adwuma ne se ne fatana na amampani na Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo se atemuafo a wabɔ din ama yakototo ma no na yapaso mu ni nyina ya ɔma professional merit enyina ni nyina nam ne kwan so a enya MPP fo ma enya NDC fo ma enya Kuadonko ma omo ye Ghana fo ma pa omo ni mmra ete mmra se ede mmra no eye adwuma.
This meant that judicial appointments are conducted essentially on the basis of professional merit and suitability. Appointments to the lower courts, the High Court, and the Court of Appeal are done by the President exclusively on the advice of the Judicial Council. In the case of appointments to the Supreme Court, because of its unique position in our judicial structure, there are the additional requirements of the consultation of the Council of State and the approval of Parliament. In the overwhelming number of cases of justices designate to the Supreme Court, that approval has been given on a bipartisan basis. You can count on the fingers of a hand the number of justices designate whose approval met less than unanimous consent. I've gone into this matter in some detail because of a new concept that has been recently introduced into our public discourse by no less a public figure than the fourth president of the Fourth Republic, the perennial NDC presidential candidate, John Dramani Mahama.
Any out ye Omampeni Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Ebre ne de ya wakasa ewo 2023 annual conference Emma Ghana Bar Association. Enfimfini mantem eno de sansem no etuja.
So ewo ensamfofro emu na kanema mpanyin bosuke na John Dramani Mahama wano so en wakasa no kire mu se kokko ntumu ya aban ede ama eye kokko akuafo enei no wano kanema mpanyin JDM odi eye mampanyin enhu ya papa na kanema mpanyin akire mu a yeda esore ya mampanyin Akufo-Addo ede ababetu dwa kire mu se sika ya aban ede eto eye kokko no se ejina 1,300 Ghana cedis. That is a 30 million. No. Na sanya ehonsam no aba ya aban esa ne homra ne se dia waye no aban bia enye bi da. Ena no kane mampanyi aba be ya no kire mu se wo se wa makoko akuyafo sika pa ya kire se ebura dwere kra ne ntiase eso de emisa aban se eniema boo ya no aya den ne de eno no owira fi siwahu sika no a watum na ena wo ka ho asem na we no ya de to de yin we nso kra no e wo senka kire senka wo minister bi ana nso se wakoda bi ena kire sentumu no kra no enka wo se wode atudwa na we panyin wagye ta wani ase a wo baba ya announcement e kire achievement a kire se wanya we ya announcement bi a panyin udi animu saa enya yamwa akirei na yentie eye kokko ebo no entumu ya aban ede ema kokko akuafo no sania Ghana mampanyin Mr President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ede etudwa ewo adwabo ase ewo tepa.
Cocoa Board and government have been taking the very hard decision of increasing producer price of cocoa. Cocoa prices have increased from 7,600 cedis per ton in 2016 to 12,800 cedis per ton in 2022, a significant increase of 68%. This has had an adverse impact on Cocoa Board's financial performance.